Frederick Douglass, A Man of Color Doing the Impossible, by Sarah Rocca. Frederick Douglass was an African-American boy born into slavery in the 1800s. He was born on February 14th, Valentine's Day, of 1818, and was one of 6 children. Douglass and his family both worked and lived on a plantation of Anne Anthony. Anthony was Douglass's presumed father, and they shared a special bond. This bond only became stronger following the death of Douglass's mother in 1825. After his mother's death, Douglass was sent to live with Thomas and Lucretia Auld, Anthony's daughter and son-in-law. A few years after living with the Aulds, Douglass was sold to the nigger breaker William Covey. Unfortunately, Covey beat and whipped Douglass weekly, along with the other slaves he owned at the time. Douglass was 16 at the time, and like any teen, felt the need to fight back against what he felt was morally wrong. On the Christmas of 1833, Covey sold Douglass to William Freeland, Douglass's fourth and final owner. While with Freeland, Douglass was sent to Sabbath schools where he learned to read and write. While there, he started forging passes in hopes to escape the school to go to freedom. When caught, he was sent to prison. After this incident, Freeland took Douglass out of the school and sent him to work as a caulker in the shipyard. Douglass was influenced by many free black men while there and started giving speeches. It was during one of these speeches that he met Anna Murray, a free black woman who also worked in the shipyard. She would later become his first wife. Together, Murray and Douglass hatched a plan to ensure that Douglass would become a free man. This plan involved Murray stealing a sailor's uniform while Douglass forged protection papers, so he appeared to be a free black sailor. The duo then escaped to New York, where they received assistance from David Ruggles, the New York Secretary of State and abolitionist, who placed the two in a fugitive care program. While in New York, Douglass created an anti-slavery newspaper titled The North Star. The purpose of the North Star was to attack slavery in all of its forms and aspects, advocate universal emancipation, promote the intellectual and moral improvement of the colored people, and to hasten the day of freedom to our 3 million fellow enslaved countrymen. Douglass recruited 2 men, William Lloyd Garrison and Wendell Phillips, to help him in the creation of the paper. Garrison and Phillips told Douglass there were too many anti-slavery papers around, but Douglass knew that they were actually scared that Douglass's paper would destroy their newspaper, The Liberator. By this time, Frederick Douglass was overly popular, both for his speeches and his written word. So President Abraham Lincoln decided that Douglass would be the perfect man to assist him in the drafting of the Emancipation Proclamation. Now, after the African Americans had finally gained the freedom that they so long desired, Douglass and Lincoln gained their well-deserved fame. The two were often known as the men that changed America. Because of this, Lincoln was often the time portrayed as a man feeding a starving slave a nice hot bowl of emancipation. Douglass, now being a free man, wrote his life story, My Bondage and My Freedom, The Life and Times of Frederick Douglass. Because of his newly found fame, Douglass was appointed the U.S. Marshal in 1877, which meant that he was a large part of the starfighter unit of the Navy. He was also appointed the U.S. Minister to Haiti in 1889. Douglass died of a heart attack in 1895 and was deemed the honor of being a champion of human freedom, African-American abolitionist, newspaper editor, U.S. colored troops recruiter, U.S. ambassador to Haiti, and orator. Frederick Douglass gave his last public address against lynch law here on February 1, 1895. A frequent visitor to Westchester, Douglass denounced lynching and bigotry and urged freedom, justice, and equality for all Americans.
The Frederick Douglass Institute here maintained Douglass's legacy.